Hey guys, welcome back to Soulback Sports, and I'm so back with another video. And I wanted to talk about more about specific mock drafts that are coming up, given that now the Super Bowl is over and the off season has officially started. I think that going over multiple mock drafts, and especially this scenario, really intrigued me. But before we get into it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot, and it helps me make content like this for you guys. So this mock draft specifically goes over the potential scenario for the Chicago Bears where Justin Fields gets dealt. This is on the idea and the presumption that we're taking Caleb Williams first overall and building a team that through the draft or getting weapons through the draft utilizing Justin Fields. So, according to this, it says 2024 NFL mock draft. Patriots deal Justin Fields in one of 5 first round trades. So, this one has multiple first round trades, and could be very interesting if it does play out this way. So, as you can see right here, Chicago Bears obviously take Caleb Williams first. Then, what's interesting is these next 2 picks. And Jaden Daniels goes number 2. Given that Jaden Daniels' stock is on the rise, I could see that the Washington Commanders could also look into a Jaden Daniels. And, Cliff Kingsbury is their new offensive coordinator. You know, it works out because according to this thing, they said that Kyler Murray is also a dual threat. Jaden Daniels is also a dual threat. So I think it would work out in terms of his development. Then, through the New England Patriots, this is what intrigued me the most. Because as a Bears fan, if we end up taking Caleb, I really want, as a person that really wanted Marvin Harrison Jr. from the get go, I feel like we should still find a way to still get a wide receiver in this draft. And if we find a way to still get Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams in the same draft, Ryan Poles will go down as one of the best GMs of all time if he were able to make this go off, like this trade happen. Will it be likely? Probably not. But could it happen given with the right circumstances and the compensation? Absolutely. And this would be amazing because I feel like Marvin Harrison should be a standard in terms of keeping him in the draft because I really wanted him from the get go because he's really good in terms of being. I feel like he's the most generational talent of this draft. And the fact that we can get away with taking Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison, it would only mean like a good connection and it will help with Caleb's development too. So yeah, and how this will happen really is the Bears take the Patriots trade compensation package for Justin Fields. So we ship off Justin Fields to the New England Patriots and having a future star receiver, like I said, like Marvin Harrison Jr., to help Williams transition into the NFL will help a lot. And in terms of his deep ball and all. So we would make a compensation. Compensation would probably be like Justin Fields plus our pick on the 9th pick and probably like a 2nd or 3rd round pick in addition to that. And maybe a little probably like a compensatory like 6th round pick or something like that to add on to move up to this 3rd pick. Because we have to give a lot to move up. And the thing is, they're in need of a quarterback, so we give them a quarterback in Justin Fields who's relatively developed. And not relatively though, he's really good. It's just that, if we end up moving on from him and we find a way to get Marvin Harrison too, if they want to move in a different direction, I guess, this would be my best case scenario. Like, if we were to take Caleb, I would want to find a way to get Marvin Harrison Jr. And now, another trade happens where Arizona Cardinals trade with the Denver Broncos. The Arizona Cardinals currently hold the 4th overall pick, and Denver will essentially move up from their original late pick. I think they were the 12th round pick or something like that, 12th overall pick, and they draft Drake May. They get Drake May. They get a new quarterback, and yeah, I mean it kind of makes sense with Russell Wilson. Probably not going to be a Bronco next year. It kind of makes sense. Chargers get Brock Bowers. I would still I think in my previous video I mentioned I feel like they should go for a Jared Verse or some kind of defense or offensive tackle to help with Justin Herbert. But if they end up going with a tight end, I think that would also help with bolster the offensive line. Yeah, I think Brock Bowers is really good, and I think he will go really well. New York Giants take Jared Verse, pretty solid pick. You know, And then Tennessee Titans, Joe Alt. Okay, fine, makes sense. Atlanta Falcons take Terry and Arnold. Nothing crazy there. Um, New England Patriots take Olu Fashanu, an offensive tackle. Pairing that with Justin Fields, I feel like this would be the best case for New England Patriots too, because you not only get a good quarterback, you get some compensatory picks, plus you get Olu Fashanu and the ninth overall pick. Pretty solid pick, I would say. And then New York Jets stay at number 10 and get offensive tackle in Fuaga. My Minnesota Vikings take Dallas Turner. I would have loved to see Dallas Turner, but I think we're going to probably address the edge rush position in what is it called? The off season. So I don't see that's an issue. Arizona Cardinals receive the 12th overall pick from the Denver Broncos and get Malik Neighbors. Solid pick for wide receiver. I rate Malik Neighbors a little bit over Odunze just because I feel like LSU produces a lot of great wide receivers in general, and I feel like that's a really good pick. The one interesting thing is JJ McCarthy is going pretty high. I don't know if it's just because of Jim Harbaugh's like praise on him, but who knows at this point? Like at this rate, because I feel like the Raiders are trying to move in a different direction, and with Aiden O'Connell, I mean, even Aiden O'Connell is still going to be on the team. Jimmy G has run its course. He's probably not going to start ever for them, and get someone young like JJ McCarthy. Makes sense. Makes sense. But like Rome Odunze goes to the Saints. Oh, Odunze to the Saints plus Olave, like a Michael Thomas, dude. Like that New Orleans Saints offense will be insane with Rome Odunze if he ends up following that low. Um, would it happen? Probably. And the thing is, Derek Carr is still pretty good, like relatively. So I would love to see Odunze paired with Chris Olave. A.T. Perry too. Like Michael Thomas is probably going to. Yeah, I agree. Michael Thomas hasn't been on the field as much, injuries and like off field like incidents. So I think it's best to move on and get a really solid wide receiver. Indianapolis Colts defensive tackle. Yeah, bolster up that D line. You have a really good solid defense. Philly JPJ. I guess with Travis Kelce retired, I guess makes sense. Sorry, not Travis. My bad. Jason Kelce retired. It makes sense to get another center and develop him. So I think this would be pretty cool to see. Jacksonville, Brian Thomas. Ooh, I mean, I feel like Jacksonville has other issues they need to. I don't know if the wide receiver is mainly one. Maybe if Ridley Ridley is probably leaving. Yeah, as you say here. Yeah. So maybe I guess develop and get another wide receiver for Trevor Lawrence. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I initially didn't, but I feel like maybe offense tackle, bolster up that O line. Maybe get a Latham maybe instead. Offensive tackle for yes, Bengals. You really need O line help for sure. This is a great pick. Rams, Wiggins, sure. Cornerback, bolster up the secondary. Yeah, I agree. Linebacker. Yeah, I like this. I feel like most of this stuff is pretty it addresses a lot of the issues that they need. I guess that makes sense. Tavian Sanders. I don't know. I feel like they should go with offensive tackle here. If there is a good offensive tackle available, take him. DT, I love this pick for the Seattle Seahawks. That would be really good for them. He's been a stud. He fell this low is kind of crazy, but yeah, I like this. Houston Texans, Guyton. I'm not really sure much about him, but offensive tackle, yeah, bolster up that offensive line for CJ Stroud. More offensive line for help for Dallas Cowboys. Agreed. Um, trade with Green Bay Packers. So Kansas City essentially moves up with the Green Bay Packers and takes wide receiver. I don't know. I heard Keon Coleman's pretty good. And then especially moving up and adding him with Rashee Rice. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot for the Kansas City Chiefs. Just bolster up that wide receiver room. Latu follows this low, I guess, due to injury. But if the Bills get him, good for them, especially with Von Miller being out. I don't think Von Miller's run its course. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. And then Arizona moves all the way down here and gets Quinyon Mitchell. Buccaneers get Chop Robinson with a trade with Buffalo. Um, oh yeah, I forgot they made the trade. So there's like 5 different trades that's happening right here, and then I guess we can kind of like move past like because I'm not really fully sure about these people. But Darius Robinson, edge rusher, offensive guard for Baltimore, safety, I guess, pretty much helps. Iowa cornerback, bolster up the secondary if what's his name, Jair Alexander ends up leaving. You know, yeah. Overall, this is one of the solid drafts I've seen. Or sorry, mock drafts I've seen in a while. If this were to happen, and like really, my main focus is the Bears picks. Really, I went through all that. If you're already in this video, thank you for still watching. But um, Chicago really has a chance to really command, not no pun intended, this draft with moving down, moving up from the 9th pick and pulling off like a Texans type trade with the Patriots, and this will only help if you're gonna move in the direction with Caleb Williams and not stick with Fields. I think this is the best way to do it. You not only get one of like your ideal quarterback, but also you get a generational talent wide receiver that in Marvin Harrison Jr. Like that makes the perfect sense. And if you can still find a way to do that, that's amazing. And Ryan Poles has a lot to do in terms of when until the off season really starts and the draft starts. So he has a lot of like smoke screens to go through. He needs to do as much stuff to make sure that like Justin is marketable and the uh, Patriots agree to this deal. So yeah, that's it for this video. I mean, I can do an in-depth draft analysis, if depending on how much intrigue this video gets. So if this video gets about like I want to say like 50 likes, I can definitely make a whole entire mock draft scenario. So yeah, that's it for this video. Please remember to still subscribe. I really appreciate the love and support from y'all on these videos. Y'all are so amazing. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.